These documents also allegedly stated, quote, there was a continuing exchange of information during the campaign between Trump surrogates and intermediaries for the Russian government. Now, again, I'm telling you this as it's coming out, so, you know. But if it's true, it's obviously extremely serious. And if there is any evidence that anyone affiliated with the Trump campaign communicated with the Russian government in the course of this campaign, what will you do?
Senator Franken, I'm not aware of any of those activities. I have been called a surrogate at a time or two in that campaign, and I did not have communications with the Russians, and I'm unable to comment on it.
Very well.
This is Glenn, who's on the phone.
Hey, it's Jude up in Casper.
Yes, ma'am.
You know, I went to that Republican deal the other night, selecting a new county commissioner.
Right.
And I'll be darned if it wasn't just like right now, they have all these fake media stories out and detrimenting candidates that run for office. Up here in Casper, our local radio station turned around and pulled up 2 old stories on 2 of the front runners for that position, and it has it plastered all over the place.
Okay.
It blows my mind how media will be used to discredit anyone who runs for office in this state.
Right. Now, well, let me ask you this, though. Are the 2 stories true?
Yeah, but they're so stupid.
Okay.
I mean, one guy, DeWitt, he sold alcohol to an underage kid when he was working for, like, a C-store a few years back.
Right.
And he pled guilty. I mean, it's a misdemeanor. It's not a big deal. The other one is a gal, and she had filed bankruptcy because times got hard. Who hasn't filed a bankruptcy at one point?
Right. Yeah, I remember. I did see the bankruptcy story today, and I kind of thought, well, look, I understand you want to vet people who are running for some kind of office. I understand that. But I will give you this, though. Yeah, sometimes what's pulled up from the past is, boy, I wonder why you mentioning that. It has nothing to do with what's going on now or who they are today. People will make a mistake at some point in their past.
That doesn't think of anyone who hasn't.
Right. Okay.
You know, there's no, they're saying, don't throw stones if you live in a glass house.
Yeah. All right.
I mean, I could throw up garbage on every one of those that are currently on our commission board.
Okay. Yeah, I guess they're just looking for something to print. I don't know. I'll have to take a look at it myself to see what they post. I appreciate you calling. Thank you. I'm also letting her go because the phone sounds really bad coming from Casper. So, no, but as far as I'm concerned, when it comes political season, news media in general, they're looking for things to post, and they find whatever they could, they go ahead and post it, and they'll dig way back in someone's past. And I understand, on the one hand, we have to vet some people, but on the other hand, and for the most part, I think the public's pretty savvy. If you're digging way back into someone's past and you find something they did a long time ago that was either just a mistake or, you know, and a lot of times it was just something stupid they did when they were young. My thought is, that's all you got? Really? Okay, if you have to dig that far back for something that obscure,
WYOMING,
then you got nothing on the person. You might as well not have wasted your time on it.
And I spent...
Well, on that note, here's a headline for you. County Commission candidate learned a lesson in alcohol sales sting. Now, see, this is part of what she's talking about right here. I'll take a look at it in just a minute. It's KGAB Radio.
Self-exploding itself. They no longer feel that they have to let anyone in their little elite circle of holding offices if they don't 100% agree with what they think they stand for. Wednesday night, the Republican Party had a meeting up at the Ramkota, and that was on the decision to replace a county commissioner for the next 8 months since Steve Schlager had quit. And I knew, I had suspected before I even walked in the door who was going to be the winner of that one. I got inside sources like a lot of media, but my sources are real. They actually work for the county in various departments. And I was told before I even attended the meeting that Paul Bertolio was going to win it. He had already ran in the last election that let Chadwick back in for a second term. So it was kind of his turn now to be on this commission. I don't have anything against Paul Bertolio personally, but he really wasn't all that much help on city council for anything. He was kind of a fence sitter in 16 years of bullshit. As far as I'm concerned, on city council was quite enough of a retread for a politician. It was time for him to move on and let some young blood in. The three finals were Michelle Sambrowski, a gentleman named DeWitt, young guy, and Paul Bertolio. And let me go back. When I walked in, I noticed in the hallway, Republican Party ex-chairman of the women's, Bonnie Foster, Rob Hendry, and Forrest Chadwick huddled with Paul Bertolio. And at that moment, I knew it had already been preordained. It was already pre-selected. And the thing that bothers me is they let these people put themselves out there. They let them get up there and put their best foot forward to no avail. It means nothing. And then I wandered around the room and I visited with people, and I came across Paul once again. He was standing with Jason Chavez of Planning and Zoning, and Jason was doing his usual suck-up job to the newest commissioner. So that kind of sealed the deal for me. As you all know, I have been watching our county commissioners for about 6 years, since they cost me about $200,000 to fight for my property rights. But I don't have a dog in this fight. I mean, not really. I don't vote because I'm a felon from about 6 years ago. But I never went back and got my rights to vote back. So I can kind of stay on the outside and look in with a lot more objectivity than most people can, because most people have a dog in a fight of who sits on their boards and commissions. The point that I'm making with this video tonight is the fact that our Republican Party in Natrona County has been slipping rules, sliding by bylaws, and not exactly running by what conservative Republicans really are. Oh, phone's ringing. Hold on, I'll get in right the future. If you're going to vote, you don't vote for either party. You go strict constitutional, libertarian, but you do not let these guys back anywhere near government, whether they're Republican or Democrat, because you don't know what they really are. Most Democrats run with an R behind their name because they think that's going to help them get elected, especially in a state like Wyoming. And then Democrats are all beat up here because they run as Democrats, and we know what that is. That shit can, USA and sell out to the highest bidder. Libertarians are the progressives. They're the kind of nut wings that have brainwashed our children in school. And constitutionalists, they have a little bit of a nut job too, because they want to be adhered to the Constitution so strictly that most people can't find themselves, to vote for them. So Yeah, 3-minute Chadwick. Bertolio is Opella's best friend. And those guys had already decided this shit long before they even went into that meeting. I was told by one guy that he had seen Hendry, Bertolio, Lawson, and Bonnie Foster huddled in a corner, so I think that kind of gave it away. I know when I walked in the room and saw Bertolio and Jason Chavez of Planning and Zoning together, it was a for done deal. I mean, you could just look around. I'm good at observing. Harry always told me that you are a good observer. Well, I heard tonight, in fact, I think I read it a little while ago, that CADA is looking for more funding. And that was one of the questions that was asked in interviews this afternoon, what they thought about the Wyoming Business Council and that kind of stuff. And that's what it is. CADA claimed they got themselves somebody to move to Wyoming. Well, my reaction to that was, well, God, you guys have been going since 1998. You've gotten over $15 million. You don't want to tell us who you pay or what their salaries are because you claim to be a private organization, yet you're sucking my tax dollars. And after $15 million, if that's all you've produced is 23 employees and one actual business moving to Wyoming and Casper, then you're a waste of time. So the next time somebody tells me about diversity of the economy, I'm going to tell them to go fuck themselves. Okay, I will read Lawson, and it's on what, the Casper Star Tribune? Okay, I will do that right now. All right. Well, Ed Opella, you should have seen him when he left the meeting, Dana. His head was hung so low. I mean, 3-time loser. I'm sick of retreading these same politicians. And to use the media to destroy anybody coming in or even attempting is just, it's appalling. It's like government politics going after Trump. The media slaps him down, and then you've got your own party slapping you down. Who the fuck wants to belong to any of these guys? Well, we'll see where Bertolio stands on property rights. I'd like to see where he stands on CADA money, and I definitely would like to see him where he stands on the Wyoming Business Council picking winners and losers. Yeah, well, like I said, I'm going to give him a couple weeks, and I'm working up my questions, and I'm going to go in and no. And that's what's wrong with this Republican Party in Natrona County. It's their elite buddies that hold all these seats. Maybe someday they'll all fucking die and new blood can get in there and revitalize. No, Keating's going to be beat up from left to right. We know that. These guys have been beating on him for years. I don't know. I haven't called him, and I probably should, but I will. And he called earlier, but I missed the call. I was cooking and doing laundry. But anyway, I'll read that right now, and then I'll include it in my post. All right, babe. I love you. Bye. That was hubby, and what he had to say about the video that I shot the other night in my commentary. That was only one of probably 100 calls and Facebook tweets or Twitter tweets that I got today just on the subject of Natrona County commissioners. Looks like City Council chose Dallas Laird. I don't know enough about Dallas to down him, except for the fact that he's been an attorney for, I don't know, 40-something years. Maybe he can teach the city attorney what the law is again. That would be a new concept in itself, since he evidently is too stupid to read state statutes most of the time. Today over in City Council, they selected their new council member that will probably serve out the rest of Todd Murphy's term of office. People, you've got to wake up. You got to quit being stupid and sleepy. These guys do not have your best interests at heart. All they do is wheel and deal all day long on how to get money and how to make sure that their pals get to build what they want to build and get the taxpayer dollars, for duplicate services. And while I'm on that subject, I'm still trying to figure out what Liz Belcher is doing. Who the fuck put this bitch anywhere near city management? That was probably one of the most stupid things you people could do. She's a fraud. Don't you know that? This is the woman that sold us sustainable development. What was it? Complete Streets. Agenda 21. I know this sounds crazy, but I didn't bring in Rosa Core for my own fucking health. I brought her in so that you guys could get aware of what this sustainable development is. And anytime they use those punch words, diversity, complete streets, green areas, it's going to be your tax dollars to prop up their husbands and wives that work in these areas, to steal our money, to make it look like they actually give a shit about anything other than money in their pockets. So, I don't know what to do with you guys anymore. We talk, we tweet, we talk on Facebook. We're still trying to protect our president. The media has gone absolutely insane. Did you see what K2 put on Michelle Sembrowski and Mr. DeWitt this morning? Right before they go in to meet with the county commissioners for the vacant seat of Steve Schlager. What a pathetic thing to do. Of course, they did this before, too. They did it with Jackie Anderson when she ran for county commissioner. She was in a room with a pot plant. Surely you can't elect her. And with Paul Pad, he had a BB gun, but they claimed it was a gun at the time against, the Humane Society or something, because some cat kept shitting in his yard. So he was going to bounce a little prick in its ass. So that makes him unstable. I mean, anytime anyone runs for office in this town that has not been a bootlicker of the Republican Party, they are character assassinated in the media. Whether it be the Casper Red Tribune, and now it seems K2 Radio as well. It is just one more par for the course that our media is so full of shit that you're better off not watching it, or listening to it, or reading it. In fact, I think I blocked 70 news outlets this morning, but in reality, there's only 6 news outlets for the entire United States. They're all owned under 6 people. New York Times, a Mexican drug lord owns it. Do you think he's all for closing the border off or stopping the drug trade? Well, fuck no. Anyway, too many years of smoking. But remember, Lame Street Media is exactly what that is. Lame. I suggest you start doing your own research. Dig a little deeper. Find a little further. And one more thing I wanted to add. I was so upset over the way that K2 Radio had treated Michelle Sombrowski and Mr. DeWitt that I called KGAB in Cheyenne and spoke to Glenn Woods about it this morning. And he agreed with me 100%. What the media is doing to people who stand up and try to even run for offices is absolutely appalling. I'm sure that if I dug through my videos, I can find dirt on every single one in our local office because I watch, I pay attention, and I always record. So that when I want to look back on something, I could quote that prick word for word. So with that, I'm going to close. And people, keep an eye out, man. Get involved. You're going to put a target on your back, whether you run for office or you speak up at a meeting somewhere. You're being watched. That's one of the biggest problems. In the spy agencies are trying to, for federal, they're trying to renew a program. It was called 702. And that's how they spied on Trump. That's how they spied on Rand Paul. That's how they spy on us. The funding for these agencies need to be cut. And I don't know if you're familiar with a fellow named Larry Nichols. He was Clinton's go-to guy to make problems go away back in 1992 when they were selling drugs and buying drugs and having it flown in by the CIA. No shit. Look it up. Cocaine Cowboys. It's there. You just have to, take the time to research it. But that's what's wrong right now, and that's the real narrative of this. Is gang members are being popped and being deported, and there's no more guns, drugs, and money going to be flown in by our agencies, because Trump's been smart enough to figure it out that that's how this shit gets in the country. It's not just coming over the borders. It's being flown in by the United States of America, and it's corrupt CIA, DOJ, NSA people. So, with that, I'm going to close. Leave it out there in Hangman's Land. Good luck. God bless. Hey, Trump and Mrs. Trump. You guys looked absolutely beautiful. It is so nice to see a wholesome family back in my White House. And be careful. Them CIA agents need to stand a whole lot closer to you because of they got no choice. You're not going to be owned. You're not going to be controlled. You don't need their money. They can't blackmail you. They're going to try to kill you. And I think most of Americans who have paid attention understand this. So keep your family close. Keep the CIA or Secret Service close. And let's drain that swamp around you. Them motherfuckers that are up there, around you, Mitch McConnell, Paul Ryan, these guys are not looking out for us. They're looking out for their next re-election. And I think I would dump 9/10 of them here in about 2 months. If they don't get your tax reform done, dump them all. And Elaine Choi, Mitch McConnell's wife, bitch, you need to step up to the plate for the trucking industry in this country. We're out here dying. Without us, you can't put diamonds on your hands and have your hair dye for your head. And you keep fucking with us and not taking care of us and acting like infrastructure is the whole priority of your office, then we're going to make sure we run your ass off too. So you need to put up or shut up. And December 31st, the trucking industry in this country will take the biggest hit in history if these regulations get to go through. So, President Trump, put that woman on notice. Put up or shut up. Or we're going to start complaining about her like nobody's business. In fact, we'll just stop. We'll call an end to trucking for 2 weeks, and you guys can all suffocate and die without groceries, because we are the ones that move America.